engagement. So we want conversations happening on our website, in blog comments or a forum. We want there to be a buzz. We want to, again, utilize these activity loops that we talked about, that even if people leave, we're bringing them back on a regular basis. If you have a very active site, if you're getting a lot of traffic, and if the content's getting updated frequently, Google will reward you. And so we make sure with the STIR that we really build out that foundation of activity. And it's important to build out that firm foundation, both the quality links and of activity, because in step 6, we move to what we call the hammer. Now the hammer is a ton of fun, because at phase 6, this is where we're doing massive linking. This is really the third phase of our linking system. So again, keeping the sequence in mind, we do competitive analysis, we do content, we create our content, we do the initial phase of link building, then we do some activity and some additional linking, then we do even more activity, and now we get into massive linking, where we're really trying to intimidate our competitors. We want to, at this point, hopefully, the STIR has got us to page 1. Hopefully it's even got us into the top 3. Now we want to solidify those rankings. And the way that we do that is with the hammer. The way that we do that is by throwing all the links we have at it, by intimidating our competitors, by syndicating our content, and we're going to show you exactly how you execute the hammer in the perpetual traffic formula. Now when you get to step 7, this is what we call the factory. At this point, you've achieved the ranking goals that you set out to achieve. Now it's time to maintain, to make sure you stay there, and it's time to automate. Maintenance and automation is what the factory is all about. This particular phase is a lot of fun. It's a whole lot of fun, because now is when we get to stop actually having to do any real work. Now it just becomes the perpetual system that we talked about, where maybe you got to give it the occasional push, but the system truly runs on its own. Now, at this point, you may be thinking, this all sounds interesting, Ryan, but how do I know you're the real deal and are not just making this stuff up? Well, 3 things. Number 1, I actually walk the walk. Unlike most gurus, I have businesses in other markets. I have businesses in high-ticket information products, such as the Forex. I have business in lower-ticket consumer products, such as health and fitness. I also have physical products businesses. We manufacture chemicals and cleaners just down the road from me in Austin, Texas, that we sell online. We also import from China. I'm heading out to China in October. So I don't just have my own businesses outside of the internet marketing space, but I have businesses across multiple verticals, in both physical and digital, in ultra competitive and not so competitive. So what does that mean? It means that I get to test a lot. And I don't just get to test in one area, I get to test in literally dozens of areas. And when I see something that works in our chemicals and our rust remover product, for example, or in our ant shredder product, if it works there and it also works in the health and fitness side, we know we've got a winner. So that's the thing. I actually walk the walk. I actually do this stuff. Number 2, I have access to the best and the brightest minds in free Google ranking. By just being in this business for a long time, by attending all the major industry events, by being a teacher to a lot of the really smart people and a consultant to a lot of the really smart folks out there, I have in my cell phone access to some of the sharpest, brightest minds in search engine optimization. And I've been able to talk to them. Over the last 9 to 12 months, I've talked to just about all of them, and I've asked them one question: what's working right now? I took the consistencies that I got across all of them, we implemented those, we did our own testing, and that's how we formed the perpetual traffic formula. But the third thing where I know we're right, I know that we got this thing licked, even if Google doesn't come right out and say that this is what's happening, is that Google's own actions back me up. And all you really need to do are look at their acquisitions. Look at Google Analytics, for example. Why would they spend tens of millions of dollars to acquire Urchin, to convert it over to Google Analytics, which is just a tracking and analytics software tool, only to give it away for free? Why would they do that? Are they that nice? Are they doing it out of the kindness of their hearts? Of course not. They're tracking human activity. I'm going to say that again. They're tracking human activity. And if you think they're not utilizing this data, you're crazy. They've told us that they're measuring things like how long are people staying on your web page. They've told us that they're measuring your bounce rate, meaning how many people come to your site and then leave immediately. They're measuring these things because they want to know human activity, because they want to add that in as an aspect of their ranking algorithm. The same is true with the Google Toolbar. And if you don't believe me, if you have the Google Toolbar installed, and millions of people do, go into the settings area and check your privacy. If you notice checked by default, is a box that says send usage statistics to Google. Well, what do you think Google's doing with that data? Again, they're measuring human activity. And then you have the Google Chrome browser. The Google Chrome browser has a similar privacy setting to the Google toolbar. They're measuring human activity. And then finally, FeedBurner, which Google purchased back in, I believe, 2006 for tens of millions of dollars, hundreds, maybe $100 million, I don't remember the exact number, but an insane amount of money. It's a free RSS subscription tool. It's never really made any money. It's a free tool. Why would Google spend so much money on a free tool that's not going to make money only so they can give it away? It's simple. They're able now to measure the number of RSS subscriptions that your website has, which is another measure of human activity. And if you don't know what RSS is or RSS subscriptions, don't worry, we're going to cover all that in great depth from A to Z in the perpetual traffic formula. So in the end, there's little doubt that the perpetual traffic formula works. We've tested it. We've had the opportunity to work with other people who've been able to test it. And when you look at Google's own actions and their own acquisitions, they confirm everything we said. And again, we were seeing all this stuff with activity earlier this year. And in June 2010, Google gave it a name. They called it caffeine. And when that happened, we knew we were onto something. So the question isn't, does it work? The question is, will it work for you? That's what you're thinking, right? Well, to that I say, absolutely. Absolutely, I know that this will work for you. Now, how can I be so sure? Well, number one, because I've tested it across multiple markets. Like I said, I've tested it in high-end information products, I've tested it in low-end information products, I've tested it in physical products, we tested it in lead generation and services. We've tested it across a broad spectrum of markets, and I doubt very seriously that anybody who's going through the perpetual traffic formula that they're going to have a website that isn't somewhat related to a vertical that we're already in. Now, the only caveat to that, if you want to get ranked for insurance quotes or mortgage loans, good luck. Those are ultra competitive, and if that's your end game, I want to get ranked for the phrase insurance quotes or mesothelioma, good luck. It's probably not going to happen. Those markets are so competitive. But aside from those, 5 or 6 ultra competitive markets, absolutely, I know the perpetual traffic formula work for you. And it all comes down to simple mathematics. Remember, this is a formula. So let me ask you a question. Can you solve this basic math problem? What's 1 plus 1? All right, I'll give you some time to think about it. No, I'm just kidding. You know this, right? Is it 3? No. Is it 4? No, of course not. It's 2, right? And 1 plus 1 will be 2 today. Tomorrow, it was 2 yesterday. It'll be 2 a million years from now. 1 plus 1 will always equal 2. It's a simple equation that is rooted in our base reality as human beings. Well, the same is true when it comes to ranking in Google. Once you know the formula, once you know the sequence, once you know the proportion and everything that goes into it, executing the formula is as simple as adding together 1 plus 1. It's not a question of will it happen. Once you've analyzed your competition and you know what you need to do, it's simply an issue of executing the steps in the right order and in the right proportion based on the level of competition that's out there. That's it. And that's how I know this will work for you. And that's exactly what you're getting. You're getting a formula. You're getting a tested and proven step-by-step system. The fact that you're still watching this video and the fact that you came on this page at all today tells me that you're interested in the perpetual traffic formula. So let's discuss exactly what's included in the training package. Here's what you're going to get. First of all, you're going to get the 7-part perpetual traffic ranking formula. So all the phases that I laid out to you, the playground, the bait, the pump, the stir, the shake, the hammer, the factory, all those 7 parts, you're going to get a full-blown explanation. And more importantly, you're going to get told, based on the market that you're in, here's your correct proportion. Because I don't want you to mess that up. Again, sequence and proportion is everything. I've given you the steps, but if you do them out of order or you get it the wrong proportion, it's not going to work for you. I'm also going to give you 8 weeks of high-level group coaching. And this isn't just with me. This is with the team of SEO professionals that we have on staff, that we have in office, people that we have hired and trained to do this system. Again, I wasn't kidding around when I said this is where we're putting the vast majority of our traffic generation focus. And so you're going to get access not just to me for the next 8 weeks, you're going to get access to my team. And speaking frankly, there are lots of people on the team who are actually better at some of this stuff than even I am. So the key here is I don't want anybody to get left behind. All right, I don't want anybody to fall behind. I don't want anybody to get confused. So we're going to hold your hand through the process.